Hello everybody again. Welcome to week 5 of what we call Homespun. Series of mini concerts where I share some songs new and old, and it's a great opportunity to connect together. Thank you for all my regular viewers, and thanks for those who are joining for the first time. Let's get started. Lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Through every generation, this truth will always shine, that Christ came down among us, now He is glorified. Lift Him up, lift Him high, let His praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Hey, lift Him up, lift Him high, let His praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. The message of the kingdom stands unshakable to time, that man can be forgiven. If you seek, then you will find. Lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. And again now, lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Lift him up, lift him high, let his praises fill the sky. All heaven's gates are open wide to those who hear the call. Yeah. How about this one? Sound the trumpet, strike the drum, see the King of Glory come. Join the praises rising from the people of the Lord. Let your voices now be heard, unrestrained and unreserved. Prepare the way for His return, you people of the Lord. Sing Jesus is Lord, Jesus is Lord. Bow down to His authority, for He has slain the enemy of heaven and hell. He holds the key. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Sound the trumpet, strike the drum, see the King of Glory come. Join the praises rising from the people of the Lord. Let your voices now be heard, unrestrained and unreserved. Prepare the way for His return, you people of the Lord. Sing Jesus is Lord, Jesus is Lord. Bow down to His authority, for He has slain the enemy of heaven and hell. He holds the key. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Sound the trumpet, strike the drum, see the King of Glory come. Join the praises rising from the people of the Lord. The people of the Lord. You people of the Lord. You people of the Lord. Oh yeah. And I know there's a number of you watching from Scotland. Greetings to you all, and well, we've got a bit of a Scottish thing going on over there, and well, I remember recording that song in my own hometown. Arthur and Rita Simmons, I know you're watching, and you were there on that night, and I've got a recollection of the fiddle player Jean-Pierre Rudolph, who's a Frenchman, but he speaks with an Irish accent, taking off on the violin there, and I always remember a big pint of Guinness beside him on the stage while he was playing. It was a great night for that live album, and yeah, throughout this Homespun series, it gives me the opportunity to sing some songs new and old to you, and also to get your requests. And this song that I'm going to sing, well, it's been requested, I think probably the record number of times here. Lee Morrison requested it, Sue Lockhart requested it, Vivian Connolly requested it, David Fleming and Mark Slatter. Oh, we've got a whole range of people who asked for this song, and yeah, I recorded it back in 1983, again in my own hometown. And Jeff Sheehan, I know you're watching. We concocted this idea of doing a live album in my own hometown, and it was called An Army of Ordinary People, and that's the name of this song we're going to sing together. If you know it, yeah, do join in. An army of ordinary people, a kingdom where love is the key, a city a light to the nations, heirs of the promise are we, a people whose life is in Jesus, a nation together we stand. Only through grace are we worthy, inheritors of the land. A new day is dawning, a new age to come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one, a truth long neglected, but the time has now come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one. A people without recognition, but with him a destiny sealed, called to a heavenly vision, and his purpose shall be fulfilled. Come, let us stand strong together, abandon ourselves to the King. His love shall be ours forever, this victory song we shall sing. A new day is dawning, new age to come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one, a truth long neglected, but the time has now come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one. A new day is dawning, new age to come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one, a truth long neglected, but the time has now come, when the children of promise shall flow together as a one. Oh, yes, he will. And that promise still remains for God to build his church, to spread out right across this world with good news. you know, people are watching from right across this world. It's always wonderful.
Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy in Kenya. Pat's just showed me. Hiya, Sammy. Doing a great work over there in Kenya, and wow, it's a privilege to know you as a friend. People watching from all over the world, and it's such a privilege to have this opportunity to sing and share through 5 homespuns. I want to read you this story, which I thought I saw on the internet actually just a few weeks ago, and made me laugh. Missing woman mystery solved. A group of tourists spent hours Saturday night looking for a missing woman near Iceland's El Giga Canyon, only to find her among the search party. The group was travelling through Iceland on a tour bus and stopped near a volcanic canyon. Soon there was word of a missing passenger. The woman, who had changed clothes, didn't recognise the description of herself and joined in the search. But the search was called off at about 3 a.m. when it became clear that the missing woman was in fact accounted for and searching for herself. My goodness me, haven't we at times all been like that? Funny story, but we're all searching for ourselves at times. And this gives us this great opportunity to reconnect together. We need each other. There's something really strange about being in isolation. We need one another. I'm thankful for this time and many other times we have through the internet to be together, to be reminded of who we are, to find ourselves again, because we need to reconnect with ourselves as well as each other. And Stephen Barr, if you're watching from up in Scotland, in Renfrew, there's a song you requested a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I do list out, this is my book here, where I list out all the requests that people make. I can't always fit them in every week, but do please note that you are on record, and at some point we will find ways of putting them in. This is for you, Stephen. Paul Benison, I know, is watching, and well, he was instrumental in putting up the whole band and arranging all the event really down in Worthing, where we did this live album called God of Grace, and I'm going to sing this song and link it together with another song I'll tell you about in just a moment. But it's a song which gives us that opportunity to reconnect with who we really are. You know, these dark forces around that bring so much oppression, and at a time like this it's very easy for us to feel oppressed. We need to be reminded continually. Unwearying love has broken down my hostility of all that was estranging me from my Lord. Unwearying love has taken the initiative. Now there's nothing that I can give but to my Lord. I've been restored. I've been restored with a heart full of praise. For the rest of my days, I'll worship my Lord. I've been restored. I've been restored with a heart full of praise. For the rest of my days, I'll worship my Lord. love has met me in my helplessness and led me through the wilderness to my Lord. Unwearying love, our lives together intertwined. Now I am his and he is mine. He's my Lord. I've been restored. I've been restored. With a heart full of praise, for the rest of my days I'll worship my Lord. I've been restored. I've been restored. With a heart full of praise, for the rest of my days I'll worship my Lord. I've been restored. Yeah, reconnecting with who we really are is so valuable and so important. Chris and Von, you've got a lovely worship time on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. For any of you who want to worship and praise the Lord in a very informal way, I would encourage you over to Chris and Von's Facebook page. 7 o'clock, they really lead a really lovely worship time, and they requested this song, again reminding us of who we are and what God has done. Called You've Done It All. No words and promises I make can ever take me to that place where I deserve to know God's favor. Though I went searching for the truth, I never really understood. I thought I earned grace through my labors, but now the light has dawned. Yes, now the light has dawned. You've done it all, Jesus. You've done it all, Jesus. I was pardoned, healed, and justified on that day. By faith I recognize you've done it all. Words and promises I make can never take me to that place where I deserve to know God's favor. Though I went searching for the truth, I never really understood. I thought I earned grace through my labors. Now the light has dawned. Yes, now the light has dawned. You've done it all, Jesus. You've done it all, Jesus. I was pardoned, healed, and justified on that day. By faith I recognize You've done it all. But now the light has dawned. Yes, now the light has dawned. You've done it all, Jesus. You've done it all, Jesus. I was pardoned, healed, and justified on that day by faith. I recognized you've done it all. The words and promises I make could ever take me to that place where I deserve to know God's favor. Though I went searching for the truth, I never really understood. I thought I earned grace through my labors, and then I realized you've done it all. Fitting song really to sing straight after Easter. That's what the resurrection is about. That Christ overcame all darkness and opened up a way for us to enter into relationship. And I remember recording that song off an album called Precious Grace, and a dear friend of mine, Mr. Dave Cook, great musician, guitarist, pianist, he was playing piano for me, and it's probably one of the only times that I've actually, as I was listening to him playing, was reduced to tears were going down my eyes. It was a combination of his beautiful playing on the album. You know, I was thinking what a privilege it is to have such great piano playing on my album, but also what a privilege it is to share those words. You've done it all. Christ has done it all for us. We are on the winning side because of what he has achieved. And because of that relationship, it means that we are able to rejoice with those who rejoice, but also at times mourn with those who mourn. And I know there are some viewers here today, I'm so privileged that you're joining, who are going through difficult times. You know, I'm thinking of my friends Tony and Evelyn Horsfall, difficult times for them. Steve and Sue Criddle, difficult times, and Julie Hall, I just saw this morning, her sister passed away, and she still wrote to me and said, I'm going to be watching today, so you know, we are thinking of you here. Something, you know, so important that we recognise that, you know, there are dark times that we go through, and a relationship means that it's not just a God who smiles on us and when we're doing our difficult, our easy, straightforward, joyful things, but through our troubles and trials and tribulations. And this is a prayer which was written really for people who are suffering through various crises in their own lives. I was thinking of the asylum seekers. I was thinking of the Christians who were being persecuted for their faith in various parts of the world. And I think, you know, for us here, for many of us who are facing isolation, who are facing uncertainty of what the future might hold when we come out of all this isolation with their jobs and their work and all sorts of things, who are missing their loved ones and their family. I'm certainly missing my grandchildren. You know, this is perhaps a song for us all. It's a song off my most recent recording, actually, called Hidden Kingdom. I sing it unaccompanied. I don't think that'd be quite right today, but I hope you enjoy the guitar playing. Speak gently to my soul, with words for troubled hearts. Come soothe me with your healing balm, and calm my anxious thoughts. The night is long and dark, I face a gathering storm. Grant solace to my weary mind, resilience and resolve. Jesus, Jesus, I'm believing on your name. Jesus, Jesus, be all I need today. Your purposes remain. They will not be consumed. No system based on creeds of man can stand against your truth. Jesus, Jesus, I'm believing on your name. Jesus, Jesus, be all I need today. The passion of the cross, your power o'er the grave, secure for us a greater hope beyond this present age. Jesus, Jesus, I'm believing on your name. Jesus, Jesus, be all I need today. We share together. Jesus, Jesus, I'm believing on your name. Jesus, Jesus, be all I need today. We stand with all those who are suffering right now, with our joys, but with our sorrows. We commit ourselves to you, with our confusion as well as the understanding that we have. We commit our heart and our soul to you. Amen. Well, John Hurst, he posted up, he's a Facebook friend of mine, probably some of yours as well. He posted up all his guitars yesterday. I was envious. They look beautiful. And, well, gradually I'm introducing some of them. I'm going to introduce my latest little friend, actually. Came through the post the other day from Czechoslovakia. It shrunk in the post. And, well, I just love playing this little instrument. It matches my shirt for a start, which is really good. Higher than the highest mountain, deeper than the deepest sea, there's nothing that I've found that's greater than God's love for me. Yeah, higher than the highest mountain, deeper than the deepest I need to work on it a bit more, but it's funny when you get a new instrument, it sort of makes you want to write songs. Well, I keep telling Pat this anyway, but this guitar only got one bit of recognition last time, so I thought it's about time it got a bit more this week. So this is my Martin. My friend Bryn Howarth likes this guitar. Yeah, for those of you who have got a garden, or for those of you who are able to get out and walk through the park, wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you will have noticed the environment and how different it is. I mean, there's no aeroplanes up in the sky, or very few. There's stillness and quietness. The roads are empty. And you can appreciate and view and see the birds, and certainly you can hear them, and you can hear birdsong in most amazing ways. And I think one of the offshoots of what's happening is that our environment is starting, just for a few weeks at least, to get a little bit cleaned up, which is great and wonderful to see. And we're beginning to appreciate and value something of the nature. For those of you who've got gardens, I mean, you know, incredible to be able to go out. Captain Tom Moore, well, he's raised millions by walking up and down his garden. I think it was 100 times, £15 million. He's raised as a charity walk for our national health workers. And you know, there was someone, the London Marathon, which is a big deal in England. The London Marathon was obviously cancelled, postponed. And one runner, he ran round his garden 873 times. That's the length of a marathon, to actually complete his marathon. There's something about being outside that makes us look up. Trees are amazing things. We look up at the trees. My wife likes us to go out for a walk, and you know, she always looks up at the beauty around. It takes me a bit more discipline to do that, I must admit. But this is a song, actually, again from my most recent recording, Hidden Kingdom, which speaks about seeing something of the glory and the grandeur of God. Every living thing. Our God reigns over every living thing. Across the land, the sea, the sky, He has dominion. Our God reigns over every living thing. Across the land, the sea, the sky, He has dominion. Sing His praise. Sing His praise. Sing His praise. Night and day, through the quiet and the storm, His everlasting arms are there. He will sustain you. Sing His praise. Sing His praise. Sing His praise. Our God reigns over every living thing. great eternal one, maker of the heavens and the earth. We worship you, we worship you, the one who threw this universe into being. We worship you. Yeah, it's always interesting putting songs together for this little session. I love it in the afternoon, 4 o'clock British time. You never quite know what songs, as the week unfolds, you know, I begin to put songs together in my mind that I might sing. But some of you who I've been to live gigs will know that I sort of chop and change. I'm the worst nightmare for a PowerPoint or a projection operator, because right up until the very last moment, I've got all sorts of possibilities juggling through my mind. I mean, when it came to overhead projectors, you remember those years ago, people would be laying out all these different possibilities of songs, and I would never quite know which ones to sing. Eventually I get there, usually at the last moment, and usually while I'm actually singing, because I chop and change all the time. That's just the way I am, just the way I do things. I wish I could be more organised sometimes, but there we are. And a theme that seems to be coming through, as I was just minutes before we started, was this idea, through the pain and through the suffering that many of us are going through the anxiety that some of us are facing when we wake up in the morning. We are on the winning side, you know. We're called to run the race, yeah, but we're told we're on the winning side. We're called to fight the good fight. The Bible tells us that we've already won through Jesus. And as Christians, we have hope in our hearts. In spite of all the difficulties and struggles and the joys, yeah, and there are many joys, there will come a day where all will be revealed. That's the name of this song. There will come a day when His kingdom shall be seen. I believe with all my heart that it won't be long. There will come a day when He will reign upon this earth. The time is coming soon when He'll take His rightful place, and the rulers of this world will fall before Him. There will come a day when all suffering will cease, and He'll wipe away the tears we shed. There will come a day when the nation shall be one. All the earth will join with heaven in lifting up His name, when He returns again to reign in glory. There will come a day when we will see Him face to face, when He comes back for the bride that He's prepared. There will come a day, and that day is drawing near, when every gate will lift its head to let the King of Glory in. together we will rise in adoration. We're going to sing these words, and we'll cry, Jesus, Jesus. We'll cry, Jesus is the Lord. We'll cry, yes, we'll cry, Jesus, Jesus. Yes, we'll cry, Jesus is the Lord. Sing with me, we'll cry, Jesus, Jesus. We'll cry, Jesus is the Lord. Yes, we'll cry, Jesus, Jesus. We'll cry, Jesus is the Lord. Yes, there will come a day. And I thank you so much for joining with me. It seems to go so fast, the time. I want to thank Jan down in Somerset, who helped so much put this event on, my administrator, and my floor manager. Pat, why don't you come and say a quick hello? My floor manager, Pat Bilbrough, who you can hear singing in the background. Wouldn't be possible without her, because she's there in the background and she puts up with me all day Saturday setting this up. We'll be here again next Saturday. I want to tell you about my podcast series, where I will be starting soon in May, a whole series of podcasts that will go out once a month. You'll be able to listen to them, and they're in-depth conversations with people who are involved in the creative field, people who can inspire us both in worship, in music, in poetry, in storytelling, in rhythm and percussion. I've got a whole range of people who I've already recorded, and many still to do. I'm going to start with Ray Hughes. Some of you will know Ray Hughes through the worship scene, a very inspirational figure, and I'll be telling you more about that next week. You'll be able to tune in and listen to these podcasts, and I hope you're going to find some stimulus to be creative in your own chosen field, whatever that may be. But following that theme, let's celebrate with a song which I remember singing vividly at Spring Harvest some years back. A song which says, "Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen." That's all the chorus is. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. A trumpet blast will herald the day of your return. Your glory and your splendor will be seen through all the earth. And oh, what a day, oh, what a day that will be, when the earth joins with heaven in worship and praise to Jesus. Yours is the kingdom, yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. Time is drawing nearer. I believe it's coming soon, when we will rise to meet Him ever been. When the earth joins with heaven in worship and praise to Jesus, yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. One more time now. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Forever and ever. Amen. 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 Thanks everybody. See you again next week. Bye bye.